I don't mind at all, under current conditions, building the cash position. I think when I look at the alternative of what's available in the equity markets and I look at the composition of what's going on in the world, we find it quite attractive.
Warren Buffett, through his very big company Berkshire Hathaway, has been significantly reducing stock holdings and has been increasing cash reserves throughout 2024. And by the end of the third quarter, Berkshire Hathaway's cash reserves reached a record $325 billion. Now, why is Warren Buffett doing that? Warren Buffett is usually the guy who just holds big companies, holds them for decades. So why is Warren Buffett consistently selling a major portion of his holdings throughout 1.5 years? Now, why might that be? I don't think it is because of one reason. I think it is a mix of several reasons. But I think the main thing it has to do with is the valuations. I think Warren Buffett currently thinks that the current stock situations and the current valuations for big companies is overvalued, which means the stock prices are currently higher than what he thinks they should be, which is why it is prompting him to have a more cautious approach to avoid overpaying for investments. Warren Buffett has always said that it is great to buy good companies, but it is much greater and much better to buy great companies at reasonable prices. And if you can, at lower price, if you can buy a great company at a lower price, then that is the best form of investment. But for that, you need to see something in a company which no one does, because if everyone knows a company might do well, and in today's world, that stock will most probably be overvalued. And the next thing might be the economic outlook. The accumulation of cash could indicate anticipation of an economic downturn or a market correction which he thinks is around the corner, which positions Berkshire to capitalize on future investment opportunities. Now, if Warren Buffett thinks that the economy might not do well, if an economy does not do well, most stocks, they do come down. So having cash is advantage for Warren Buffett, because if he just liquidates his positions more and more, and he already has a lot of cash, $325 billion is something for cash. So it would give him a great opportunity to buy the stocks if they go down. He thinks they're going to go down, and if they go down, that would be a massive buying opportunity. Now, hear me carefully. Warren Buffett selling his stocks, if it has to do with the economic outlook, is waiting for the stocks to fall. Okay, it's not like he's just going to quit the investing business. I think I sound like a fool here, because I think every one of you watching already knows that. He's waiting for the stocks to go down so that he can pounce on those stocks and buy at a much lower valuation. Warren Buffett is not going to just lay the money to waste. He will buy at some time or the other. And the next one could be big investment opportunities. Now, this big cash reserves provides Warren Buffett an unique opportunity and flexibility for potential large-scale acquisitions. Now, what Warren Buffett has is not a few million dollars or even $1 billion. He has $325 billion, which is enough to buy most companies. Even in the S&P 500 index. He could buy a big position of a massive company. He could buy a 30% of a $1 trillion company. That's how big his cash flow is. Tesla stock has just gone up to $1 trillion valuation. Warren Buffett could just buy 30% of Tesla with the money he has right now. So this substantial cash which Warren Buffett has, it gives him an opportunity for a large-scale acquisition, or he may be looking to acquire some company. We never know. But these are some of the factors which could help him to make the decision. Now, it is also important to understand that Warren Buffett might be selling stocks, but it has not liquidated all his holdings. For instance, despite selling 100 million shares in Apple, Apple still remains Warren Buffett's largest stock investment at $70 billion. Now, just because Warren Buffett is selling stuff, it doesn't mean he's selling everything. He's just selling a portion of his holdings in a company. Apple still remains Berkshire Hathaway's biggest investment. Now, as I've said in my previous video, he recently sold a ton of Apple, and even then Apple went up 30-35%. So yeah, maybe he could have held on to it, or maybe he thought it's time to size down, because a lot of people also are talking about how Apple might not be able to release a new smartphone every year for the next 5 to 10 years, because whatever a smartphone provides, people already have them. So even that could be one of the reasons for Warren Buffett, like how high can Apple eventually go from here? And Warren Buffett's investment decisions are influenced by various factors, including market conditions, valuations, and long-term strategic goals. Now, no one knows for sure. We can only speculate. One can only speculate. But these things really sum up all the reasons why Warren Buffett might be selling his stuff. And the recent stock sales and cash accumulation, it reflects a cautious and opportunistic approach. I think they should also lay ground for all of us, like how we should invest in 2025. We should be cautious, and if there is an opportunity, something goes down, well, having more cash never hurt anybody. And so this could be an opportunistic approach which Warren Buffett has, aligning with his value-oriented investment philosophy. Now, this also goes back to that stocks are overvalued. Warren Buffett never likes stocks that are overvalued, so he could be just selling out to have more cash and to see how the market behaves. And the one thing which I have not talked about in this video, and also not many people have talked about, but it is the uncertainty. Now, Warren Buffett might be in the market for many, many years, but most of his investments, he's made most of his money from very few investments. So if Warren Buffett is uncertain of how 2025 is going to be, it's better to have a lot of liquid in your hands. If Warren Buffett thinks that if 2025 is going to be uncertain, having more cash will definitely help. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please hit the like button.